Today marks exactly 2 weeks since Kenya bid farewell to one of its most iconic and influential political figures of the modern era, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. It is also 9 days since he was laid to rest with full military state honors beside his father, the late former Vice President Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, at their ancestral home in Bondo. But even as the dust settles on the ceremonies, Raila Odinga's legacy remains deeply lived. Here in Uganda, friends, relatives, political allies and mentees gathered at All Saints Cathedral in Kampala to honor the life and contribution of a man many described as a bridge builder, a fighter and a statesman for the continent. Leading the Kenyan delegation was Kisumu Governor Prof Anyang Nyong'o, accompanied by Raila's daughter, Rosemary Odinga.
Gifts come with your valuable property.
In tribute, speakers reflected on the values that shaped his political journey: African self-reliance, dialogue, and above all, reconciliation.
If there's anybody who has been tortured in the African history, in the pursuit of democracy, the late Raila Odinga took the toll. We equate him to the level of leaders like Nelson Mandela, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, Patrice Lumumba.
He was impossible to discourage. And I think that's one thing we should all take, particularly those of us who are in politics. Sometimes we want that crown. If you want to be president, you think until you become president, then your life has not been worthwhile. Look at what, in his coffin, Raila was towering over everybody in that stadium while lying down in that coffin. That means that the efforts he made bore a lot of fruit.
When Raila Odinga came to attend the coronation anniversary of the Kabaka, after clocking 20 years in the Rubiri, he invited me for breakfast at Serena Hotel. I was ready by 8 o'clock. After we had started enjoying breakfast, Raila Odinga told me that, you know, Ken, I'm dashing to Munyonyo. I may leave you here because my president, Kenyatta, has just arrived and I have to welcome him at Munyonyo. I was surprised to see an opposition man endeavoring to honor the president of his country in Kenya.
So to honor a great son of Africa in the name of Raila, we cannot be quiet when there's injustice. We cannot be quiet when things are going wrong in our country. We must stand up and be heard. If they close one door, you look for another one. That is Raila. Raila never stayed down. Whatever setbacks, Raila never stayed down.
With Uganda now into the political heat ahead of the 2026 general elections, religious leaders including Archbishop Stephen Kazimba Mugalu urged that the greatest tribute to Raila's memory would be peaceful elections and a spirit of national reconciliation.
This is a season of politics. Brothers and sisters, let us love one another. Let us not be tribal. We are different. We have different political parties. These should have unifying ideologies for our nation.
Inside the cathedral, voices rose in eulogy, not of a perfect man, but of one who committed his life to the struggle for democracy and unity.
His Majesty Ronald Mwenda Mutebi II, on a number of occasions, visited the late Raila Odinga in Kenya, and the Right Honorable Raila Odinga also used to visit the Kabaka in Buganda. These mutual visits reflected a bond founded in respect, mutual admiration, and a shared vision for African unity and progress.
We come not merely to mourn a man, but to celebrate a mission. We come not only to recall his years, but to reflect on his meaning. For Raila's life was not a tale of comfort, but a parable of conviction.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in a message delivered by Prime Minister Robin Anabanja, described Raila Odinga as a great freedom fighter, a patriotic Pan-Africanist and a champion for the East African Federation.
His involvement in politics was aimed at addressing the people's challenges and not a job seeker or a careerist politician. He was able to endure numerous sacrifices and risks to his life and family because he was driven by strong convictions and the right principles in humanity.
A man fondly remembered for his love of the classic melody Jamaica Farewell, originally recorded by Harry Belafonte in 1956 and later covered by Don Williams in 1990, Raila Amolo Odinga was sad to say that he was on his way, won't be back for many a day, his body is down, his soul spinning around. He had to leave a little girl, an entire nation, and an entire continent in Bondo town. David Ijo, NTV, All Saints Cathedral, Kampala.